Strategic bombers have the ability to carry almost any weapon the Air Force has to offer. In the past, they've been used to absolutely devastate targets. They still have that ability, but with the way modern combat has evolved, precision is the name of the game. With the destruction these aircraft can bring to bear, just the mere presence of them is enough to change the enemy's mind.
Bombers represent our ability to rapidly project power from cones, from the United States. It is one of our most flexible and visible power projection tools that the President has at his fingertips, and it gives him options. Bombers represent our ability to project power which other countries on the planet don't have.
Our enemies know that we have that capability with a low observable bomber to just show up at any point over their airspace and hold their targets at risk. So to actually know that one showed up for whatever the case may be really sends a message from the U.S. saying that we're not playing around. Something needs to change, or you need to do something differently, or we're going to show up with this asset. You're not going to know when, and it's not going to be good.
Bombers have massive payload carriage capability as well as a combat range that exceeds any fighter out there, which allows them to be that intercontinental power projection tool. So it is a tool to message for both the combatant commanders and the President.
The U.S. has 3 strategic bombers, the B-1, B-2, and B-52. They all have unique capabilities that they bring to the fight, but when you need to deliver ordnance without the enemy ever knowing that you were there, that's where the B-2 shines.
Well, the B-2 offers us that flexible option in a world where our enemies are continually developing new and better air defense systems. And with those systems, it basically keeps our older systems and more legacy aircraft at bay. We still need that ability to fly in and hold their targets of value at risk in a highly denied area. And that's what the B-2 provides with its low observability capabilities.
As if being the world's only stealth bomber wasn't unique enough, fewer than 1,000 airmen have ever flown in one.
Everybody that gets to fly in the B-2 is provided a Spirit number via Northrop Grumman. So from the very first pilot to our later guys that came after me, you have a number saying, hey, in my case, I was the 602nd person to fly in the B-2. So it just kind of puts in perspective how few people total over the lifespan of this aircraft who've actually gotten to fly the aircraft.
While most of our bombers were designed with nuclear deterrence in mind, and that role is still very prevalent, their ability to carry massive payloads and deliver precision strike is being used around the world to support our combatant commanders and our allies with close air support.
In the current conflict, the B-1 brings a phenomenal conventional capability. We can employ guided weapons of various types. We do have a lot of experience integrating with other platforms, fighters, ISR, any other type of platform essentially that are vital to the strategic messaging that our combatant commanders are trying to articulate.
Well, it's scary. This jet can go supersonic, which means it can get there in a matter of an hour or two, as opposed to a B-52, which sometimes it could take as much as an entire day to get where it's going.
Of the 3 bombers, the B-52 is the oldest, but there's a reason it's still around. It's proven to be one of the most reliable jets in the U.S. inventory. So reliable, in fact, that some have been pulled out of the boneyard to be put back into service. The reason we've pulled an almost 70-year-old bomber out of the boneyard is because of its ability to carry a massive payload of 70,000 pounds. To put that into perspective, the B-17s of World War II typically only carried 4,000 pounds. The B-52 can carry an array of munitions, including nuclear weapons.
50 years, we still have a B-52 because it's still a very viable platform. With that payload carriage, we can load anything on a B-52, pretty much. But it can also drive a long time before it needs another tank of gas. So it carries it, it drops the load off, and it comes back.
By the time all 3 bombing platforms are slated to retire, they'll be over 50 years old. To keep them capable, modernization becomes a top priority.
Every platform basically has modernization going on with it. The timelines established with those are either starting now and go through 2030s. Some are shorter, but they all are based on what the asset they're replacing needs to be done.
To keep it lethal, the bomber itself is the platform, but the defensive systems, the offensive systems are, our bomb computers, the weapons themselves. We want to keep improving that capability so we're more lethal at all times. As long as we're a superpower, we're going to have bombers because it's our ability to project power.